Hidden in a valley near Nympsfield in Gloucestershire sits a house that's become one of the most enigmatic haunted sites in the country, the Woodchester Mansion. The mansion is situated in a 16th century deer park, which was also the site of a previous manor house known as Spring Park. William Leigh, the son of a wealthy merchant and a recent convert to the Roman Catholic faith, purchased the estate in 1845 and after much contemplation and consulting of various architects, began construction on what was to become Woodchester Mansion in 1854. Leigh was known as a perfectionist and oversaw all aspects of the building work, ensuring that the construction aligned with his vision, a spectacle of grand Gothic architecture combined with religious elements of his newfound faith. His perfectionism along with financial struggles, however, resulted in slow progress, and after a short bill of ill health, William Leigh passed away in January of 1873, with the mansion left unfinished.
It's said that as many as 7 people died in accidents during the mansion's construction, with supposedly even a murder taking place somewhere on the property. Mysteriously in 1868, the workers suddenly downed tools, never to return to the house again. Now, was their sudden exodus linked to Leigh's financial struggles, or did they abandon the construction, as some have speculated, because they believed the mansion to be cursed? A place built for the living, but inhabited by the dead.
After Leigh's death, the site passed to his son, also called William, who, with limited funds at his disposal, considered demolishing his father's mansion and in its place building something a little more modest. However, even this was not financially viable for the family, and so the project was abandoned entirely. In later life, he passed management of the estate to his daughter, Blanche Leigh, who undertook repairs and maintenance to the building, thankfully preserving it in its current state, before finally, after nearly 100 years in the Leigh family, sold the estate to a mental health charity in the early 20th century.
During the Second World War, the house and grounds were used by both American and Canadian troops for training exercises, most notably in preparation for D-Day. Now, it was during one of these training exercises that an armoured vehicle containing troops was attempting to cross the lake on a pontoon when it collapsed, taking the lives of a number of soldiers on board. Their bodies were carried back to the house and laid out in a makeshift morgue until burial arrangements could be made. Curiously, many people who have visited the mansion over the years believe they've seen soldiers dressed in American and Canadian World War II uniforms. Could these ghosts be linked to this tragic event that occurred here nearly 90 years ago?
In 1989, the estate was purchased by the Woodchester Mansion Trust, who have continued to look after the building, ensuring that the relevant repairs are undertaken to prevent it falling into a state of neglect. The hall is today available to rent out for functions and has even been the site of special scientific study due to the large population of endangered lesser and greater horseshoe bats who have made the rafters of the mansion their home.
Along with the previously mentioned ghosts of American and Canadian World War II servicemen, another frequently seen apparition here is of what many people believe to be a monk. Now, Leigh did indeed build a chapel here, however I'm unsure as to whether it ever actually been used, and I wonder if what people have seen is not actually a monk, but rather a hooded or cloaked featureless figure that people merely attribute to being a monk. Either way, this spectre has been seen on a number of occasions, and even recorded onto camera. The chapel has also been the site of a number of other strange experiences. Many people who have entered here have been met with the smell of freshly extinguished candles, despite no candles having been burned. It's also in here that a short man, believed to be the ghost of a former stonemason, has been seen gazing up at the ornate windows. Could he also be the one responsible for throwing stones in here? However, when people turn to see where they've come from, no one is to be seen.
In the kitchen, a lady's voice has been heard singing an Irish lament, with the sound of 1940s music eerily echoing throughout other parts of the building. Loud bangs, footsteps and unexplained lights are also experienced from time to time by both staff and visitors. It's just beneath our feet, however, that we find one of the most haunted areas of the Woodchester Mansion. It's down here in the cellar that an elemental is thought to reside. Unlike a ghost or a spirit that we're familiar with, an elemental is not thought to be of human origin, but rather a spiritual force produced by the environment itself. Those who have been unfortunate enough to glimpse this entity have described a ragged, bony creature with straggly hair draped across its sunken face. Even the outside of the mansion is not safe from the realms of the supernatural, as the sound of horses have been heard galloping up towards the mansion, as stunned witnesses turn to hear the sound pass by them, but no horses to be seen. Maybe these ghostly horses have their origins in when the site was used as a deer park, many years prior to even the mansion's construction. With so many ghosts said to haunt here, and hundreds of strange experiences had by previous visitors, we couldn't wait to spend the night inside what may be one of Britain's most famous haunted locations. So dark down there.
And then look to your left, Luke.
And a dark corridor down there.
It's quite eerie that they've got that massive mirror. It feels like you could be here and look in that to see something come from the stairs.
I hadn't even thought about that.
It's such a... it's got all of the hallmarks of a haunted house. Like, it's big, it's drafty, it's cold, it's just everything about it is
Middle of nowhere.
yeah, what you'd expect from a haunted mansion.
This technically is our first haunted mansion.
Yeah.
So cool.
So earlier on, whilst we were filming sort of the B-roll section, you guys had something happen up here.
So we'd come up here, and we were just
over there, weren't we?
filming round here. I mean, we were both sort of stood about here,
Yeah.
I would say. And then, all of a sudden, we both just had this kind of like, ha ha. And it, like, we looked at each other, like, did we just hear that? And I was like, did you hear that? And he was like, yeah.
You said it was a lady's voice.
It's definitely a woman's voice.
I almost thought it all sounded like it came from like that way.
I can't pinpoint where it came from, but it sounded like a woman's voice. And when we asked Chris downstairs, he said that women have been heard here before.
The gutting thing is that the camera you guys were using at the time, the
Microphone
audio,
was connected to
the
you.
audio channel was connected to my radio mic, so it couldn't have been heard. But I had a camera down the stairs that I was filming on. If that voice was loud enough, we might have picked it up.
It might have been closer to that than us.
Do you know what we'll have to do? Check back on the footage.
So this is right at the top of
It's a
the
lot
mansion.
less echoey up here as well.
Less echoey.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, that was weird. I heard it echo in that room over there. Can we hear your voice again? So weird how in your vision the dark areas go so dark.
And it's like I'm constantly seeing like shapes in the darkness, but I know
Yeah.
it's my eyes adjusting, or at least I think it's my eyes adjusting. Like, it's so bizarre.
I feel like my eyes are struggling to adjust on areas.
Yeah. Because it is literally blacker than black.
Would you be able to come up and join us up here?
There's noises to my left in that room.
I just like full body chills.
Yeah.
You just come up with us? You're around Sophie at the moment.
Sophie, what's opposite you in the corridor?
Fire.
Oh, so look like a
Yeah,
torso.
no. I already knew what they were. But like in that doorway is, I don't know, when I had the screen,
Oh, the doorway for the stairs.
yeah, when I had the screen bent in like that,
Yeah.
it's blacker than black in there. And it's almost as if like I'm waiting for something to appear in front of me. And I keep
That's
looking
what it felt
at,
like at matching.
yeah,
Remember?
yeah. But I keep looking at Luke to focus on him instead of that doorway.
You still up here with us?
Do you know what's really weird? I legit thought a cat just ran in front of your feet then.
Me?
Yeah, and then I remembered where we are and there's no cats.
Seriously?
What did you see?
It just looked like a cat run across like your path in front of your feet.
What, just right in front of me, sort of here?
Like lower than that. Like, but yeah. Just like shot straight across pasture.
From right.
Left to right.
Left to right.
Well, yeah, my left to
Yeah.
right.
Well, I got up from crouching, so I don't know if my coat maybe swooshed or something.
I mean, it could have done.
When you've
Swooshed,
got
I
your
like that
your
one.
camera can see me, James, right?
Yeah, my camera's pointing
Yeah,
straight
so we'll
at
be
it.
able to
Yeah,
see.
mine wasn't. Mine was pointing at him.
I'm gonna pick one up.
Unfortunately, James's camera didn't capture anything that resembled a cat by my feet, and I think in hindsight this may simply be a case of the darkness and an unfamiliar environment playing tricks on the eyes. Whilst leaving to head downstairs, however, and talking amongst ourselves, my camera picked up what seems to be a female voice. It's rather difficult to hear amongst our movements and voices, and it appears to be within our conversation, but there certainly is something there. Have a listen.
Spirits of the bench is here. The fact that spirits of the bench is here. The fact that spirits of the bench is here. The fact that.
We continued back downstairs, investigating both the first floor and the boardroom, before arriving back again at the foot of the grand staircase.
I thought I just heard someone moving upstairs. Luke? I just heard someone walking upstairs. I swear I just heard someone walking up here.
Someone walking?
Yeah.
Wasn't me in there, was it?
No. Because you were walking about as I heard it up here. I thought maybe it was like the reverb of it, but I don't know how I can see that.
I thought you'd already come around that corner.
No, I weren't following you. I was a little bit behind. I was just turning on the millimeter.
I'm
Well, like
sure
someone
you were
behind
like, he was dead behind me. And then I looked to expect you to be there, but you would just come around that corner.
Yeah, it's a weird place. I don't know if the place just plays tricks on your
I'm
mind.
wondering if the layout, the shape, the height, the brick, whatever.
But it's up here you heard walking.
Yeah, just short, just like,
On wood?
yeah.
Is there someone up here?
You're seeing stuff in the camera.
Did James just hear you walking?
Do you hear it?
It's like shuffling.
Yeah.
It sounded like just like a shuffling.
Yeah. That's like exactly what I heard though in this spot earlier on. I heard like shuffling up fabric, like
Was it
stuff like
Bleeping.
was it shuffling up the top of the stairs?
Oh yeah, up there.
Is it like leading us around? that's a point. Maybe there's one thing here now that's going around. Whoa.
What was that?
I didn't like that.
Around. Whoa. Around. Whoa. Let's tap on the stairs.
You just make a noise down here?
I just heard a woman go.
Who's here?
No, it feels like somebody's having a song.
I thought I could hear like breathing from this.
I mean, just for argument's sake. Okay, yeah, it's a wooden staircase. They're a little bit creaky, as we've already established, but like, you leave off a floorboard, they don't go bang.
No.
That was like someone had just gone. Not even that.
Who's that? Like that.
Yeah.
Are you following us around? Or are we following you around? If you can hear us and understand what we're saying, can you make a noise just to confirm? Are you following us? Or are we following you? There's something down that way.
It's just like hearing noises, but I can't work out where they're coming
Yeah.
from.
Consider it's weird what we were saying earlier. Like, this is the perfect location for an investigation because it's so quiet and isolated. Yet the one thing we're having is noises coming from all around this place.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, what do we know animal-wise is in this building? Bats.
Bats.
And they're all in hibernation.
And yeah, they're all in hibernation. As far as I'm aware, when
Like
we was
when
talking
we
to
were
Chris,
in
he never mentioned anything about rats, mice.
No.
I can't see him being in here because there's no wood. It's all stone.
Well, there is wood. The stairs. But what you
And
mean
and
is
to be honest, I think if there was rats or mice, I mean, they make a different sound from what we're hearing.
Yeah, they'll make a scary sound. And,
Yeah.
and not just that, with all of this sort of stuff here, I'm not seeing any mouse traps down, nothing. I don't think they...
There's no command box.
No, I don't know if they're the sort of place you get mice, really.
Okay, let's go quiet again. Hello? Can you come towards where we are? You hear something?
That's what I heard
Is
before.
that up there?
I thought it was down
No,
there.
down there. But very quiet.
Really faint.
footsteps.
Yeah.
Can you walk along that corridor towards us?
Where do you want us to go next?
Yeah.
We've got this going on here. We haven't even been to like the base of the cellar.
I don't
yet.
want to go to the basement.
Where should we
I
go
don't want
next?
to go to the basement.
Following this, we headed down to the basement, where the elemental is said to reside.
You want to come down, Soph?
No.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sure?
No girls allowed in the cellar.
Yes, this is a spooky area.
I'm just going to sit here.
You're staying on the stairs?
Yeah.
What is it about down here you don't like?
The ceilings are low. It's very, very dark. It just feels wrong and I just don't like it.
As I turned the camera around, it looked like someone ran into the room on the right. But I don't know if that was like the light suggested. Right, it looked like it went down there to the right, so I think going that way. It's worse the fact that you said the one on the left is where the snake happened.
What's that?
I'm trying to figure out where my head is.
You've got loads of room, don't worry.
It's literally, I cannot see. Apart from there.
Okay, so we've been led to believe that there is someone or something that lurks down in the cellar here that's not of a human origin. Are you linked to the environment? Are you linked to maybe what was on this land before any of these buildings, before mankind got here? Could you show yourself? Could you let us see you?
Right ahead is the room with the sightings of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, they've said it's when we was talking to Chris, the guy that showed us around, he said initially it wasn't called an elemental or golem. He said it was it the withered dwarf?
The ragged dwarf?
The ragged dwarf is what they initially called it. I mean, this is a legend going back hundreds of years, probably to when this place was first built. There was the legend or the tale of the ragged dwarf that lurked in here, and initially it was said to go around on all fours, but over time it's then transformed into this golem type creature and then the elemental. But the fact there's always been this story of something lurking down here, very similar kind of stories.
The extra kind of creepy thing is it's not a massive sprawling labyrinth of rooms either. It's like seven rooms, I think.
Yeah.
And if you're in this main corridor, you're basically faced with 7 black doorways.
Yeah, which portal to hell would you rather choose?
Even looking back there, I can't even see where the stairs is.
Yeah.
You can hear the sound how it going all the way around. This is where the main sightings have been.
We continued to investigate the cellar for a while longer, but with nothing happening, we headed back upstairs for a short break, after which we set up 2 locked-off cameras, one at the top of the grand staircase where we'd previously experienced some activity, and another down in the cellar, supposedly one of the more haunted areas of the mansion.
Here we are again in here.
Our favourite corridor.
Do you want to try a minute in here?
Would you want to go down to the other end? They got the bathroom down there.
Is anyone in the corridor? Yeah?
I heard a cough.
I heard it like...
It's from right down this way, wasn't it?
That echoed though around the pyramid. I thought it was this way.
During the investigation, we were all well aware that being deep in the countryside, there would be external sounds from animals, such as deer and foxes, and a number of times we'd actually heard these animals outside and marked them on camera. The voices we'd heard and recorded, however, didn't seem to share any similar characteristics of the animals we'd heard and remain unexplained. We continued on with the investigation, spending some time in the chapel where the ghost of a former stonemason and a monk are said to haunt, but sadly we didn't experience anything unusual. We later returned to the staircase where previously we'd heard what sounded like footsteps following us up the stairs, and we were actually able to debunk this after a few attempts of trying to replicate the conditions.
This is a very certain, specific bit.
I'm not being funny, but we may... Here you go.
Yeah.
Is that one debunked then?
That's a debunk.
Put the stamp on screen.
Debunk.
Yeah.
Our investigation at the Woodchester Mansion had been an interesting one, and we can certainly see why the building has a reputation for being haunted, with the tall, imposing walls casting strange shadows upon the long, foreboding corridors. Room after room, where one would expect to be met with grand fireplaces and majestic furnishings, are cold, empty spaces, devoid of all life. The mansion certainly has many secrets to tell, and despite spending 7 hours there, I believe that we'd only scratched the surface on what this magnificent old building has to offer.